everyone, welcome. I'm Kira. In today's video, we're going to talk about the safe sleep practice as recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics, AAP. You can check these recommendations in their website, which I will link in the description box down below. Of course, the mandatory disclaimer that I am not a pediatrician, so whatever it is, please check with your pediatrician first. Now, the safe sleep practice is actually recommended by the AAP to prevent and reduce the risk of sudden infant death syndrome. The AAP has recorded around 3,500 infants have died in the United States of America for the SIDS alone. 90% of these number actually involve babies under 6 months old of age. Now let's make this space a judgment-free zone in order for us to be able to make a well-informed decisions and practice to protect our babies. Number one recommendation from the AAP is putting your baby back to sleep. Now, this means that to reduce the risk of SIDS, you have to put your baby down on their back, wholly on their back in a supine position. Now, contrary to some belief, putting the baby down on their back does not actually increase the risk of them choking, but otherwise, even when they have reflux. Now, infants have their own airway mechanisms and anatomy to prevent them from the choking. Putting the babies down on their back also means that side sleeping, prone sleeping, or tummy sleeping position are not advised and not recommended at all. Now, to reduce the flathead syndrome, when your baby is awake, not sleeping, you should practice the tummy time. Especially important to strengthen their neck and shoulder muscles. If your baby has mastered to roll over from their front to back to front, now you may let them sleep on their position as that. But every time you put them to sleep, you should always put them on their back first in the first year of life at least. Recommendation number 2 is to have a firm sleep surface. This means that the mattress should be put in a safety-approved crib with a fitted sheet. The mattress and the crib should not have any other soft beddings or items in order to avoid suffocation in babies. The mattress should be firm enough that it should maintain its shape and it should not have any pockets of indentation. The baby's crib should be bare and should not have any crib bumper around it. For this, we use the crib bumper in order to protect the babies from the head entrapment between the railings of the crib. However, according to the new safety standard of the crib, the railing should be narrowed enough that the baby's head should not be able to actually go through it. Hence, by now, the crib bumper should not be used at all, which I didn't know until I read it and I've thrown it away. Now, the mattress should be covered by a tightly fitted sheet and the sheet should be thin enough and no loose beddings are allowed inside the crib. Now, because we want babies to sleep on their back and on a firm sleep surface, seating devices are not advisable and recommended for a routine sleep use. This would include a car seat, infant carrier, a stroller, and a sling wrap. Of course, to travel, we're going to put our babies inside the car seats or the infant carriers in the car. But once you're home, although your baby is sleeping inside of the car seat or the infant carriers, please take them out to put them in their crib in order for them to have their safe sleep area. The reason why you can't use the seating devices as the prop to your baby's sleep is because their airway tends to get blocked when they are put in such seating position, which is also the reason why your baby should be rear facing. The car seats usually are designed to be tilted, a bit reclined, in order for you to allow your baby's airway from any obstruction. Next, for baby wearing, especially if you have a very clingy newborn. I had that. I remember back when my daughter was a newborn, I always wear her around the house. And in order for you to do a safe baby wearing, you need to ensure that your baby's head is tilted a bit higher up from their sleeping position, and also their face should be clear from any fabric that you are wearing. Also, you have to ensure that the baby is being put close enough to your chin. The comparison is that it should be close enough for you to kiss them. This is to ensure that your baby is being put in a safer position when you are baby wearing them. Recommendation number 3 is that breastfeeding is recommended. I think it goes without saying that breastfeeding is the best for your baby, unless you are contraindicated by your physicians not to breastfeed. Then by all means you should try to breastfeed at least up to 6 months old of age for your baby. This is because it is evident that breastfeeding babies have a higher protection against SIDS compared to the non-breastfeeding babies. Number 4, room share without bed sharing. AAP recommended that you should room share with your child at least ideally until they reach 1 year old, or at least until they reach 6 months old. However, as I said, you should room share, not bed share. Your baby and you should have a different and separate sleep surface to sleep in. It means that your baby should sleep in their crib on their own mattress, and you should sleep on your own mattress in your own bed. Now, you may put the crib next to your bed for easy access during the night nursing sessions, but it is always recommended and advisable for you to put them back in their crib after you finish nursing. I mean, I know this because I didn't put my baby back. I always doze off during the night nursing session, and I always forget to put my baby back in her crib. But whenever possible, or whenever you are awake, you should always put your baby back to their crib. Bed sharing is not recommended because the baby needs the firm bare sleep surface, and compared to our bed, we have like endless pillows and beddings and blankets and whatnot, and this is actually not safe for the baby to sleep, especially when they are under 4 months old. This is because there is an ample evidence to show that there is unintentional injury, death, and SIDS occurred due to bed sharing with infants under 4 months old, because they are more vulnerable at this time. Number 5 is no loose beddings or objects in the crib. The crib must be bare and must be free from any loose beddings or loose items. The area around the crib and the crib itself should be free from any hazardous items, such as dangling cords or dangling wires and whatnot. This also means that no pillows, no blankets, no soft toys should be allowed in your baby's crib, other than your baby and the fitted sheet on the mattress, because it tends to block the baby's nose when they're sleeping. If you're concerned that your baby may be cold at night when they're sleeping, well, you can opt for a suitable clothing for them to sleep in. For example, a footed pajama. Like, this is my baby's footed pajama. Up until now, we still have a footed pajama. It has these footings, and this would be safe enough for them to sleep in it. If you have a newborn, of course, we always swaddle them, and I will get to in a second on how to safely swaddle your child. But if your child is able to roll over and whatnot, and it's no longer safe for you to swaddle them, you may opt for a wearable blanket. For example, like this, you can actually put them inside, and then you can just zip it up, and they will wear this as their blanket. So these would not get anywhere up to their nose and whatnot, because it is not loose at all. It stays on their body. If you have a newborn and you swaddle your newborn to sleep, please make sure that the swaddle is snug enough around their chest area and not to be too close to the neck area to allow them to breathe properly. Also, please do not tighten the leg and the hip area for your baby when swaddling them, because that would actually increase the risk of hip dysplasia. And I know this may be against and contrary to what you have heard. Some old folks say that if you not tighten them around the hip area when you are swaddling them, they would be bowleg, and this is actually not true, but instead dangerous. It happened to me. I know that it came from a well-intentioned place, that this is the information that was available to them at that point of time, but since we know this by now, you should hold your boundaries and tell them what you know now. After all, this is your baby and you know best. Also, please do not forget that whenever you're swaddling your newborn, please lay them to sleep on their back at all times, and if they have show signs of rolling, please let go of the swaddling and convert them into something like a wearable blanket. Number 6 is to avoid overheating and head coverings for your infants. How do you assess if your baby is too hot? Assess it with yourself. If you are comfortable in just wearing a pajama and then a light blanket over you during that time, then it may be the same as your baby. Put them in a light clothing and a swaddle on top of that, and that should be enough. Meanwhile, for the head coverings, as a mom of a baby girl, I know it is so tempting to put all these sort of cute scarves and head coverings on the girls, but please refrain from doing that when your baby is sleeping. This is because the strings together with the loose items tend to be the strangulation risk to your baby when they are sleeping. Lastly, number 7 is to avoid smoking, avoid secondhand smoke, and to avoid alcohol. I think I remember 2 years back, I read this news that a baby is dead due to the suffocation in her own akikah because of the secondhand smoke. To ensure the proper breathing of your baby, please ensure that your surrounding situation is free from the smoke and hazardous chemicals to protect our baby from the SIDS. Now, I believe that is all for the 7 recommendations that is put forth by the AAP in their website. And I know that it sounds so strict to follow, but it is better to be safe than sorry. Again, I hope that you get some beneficial takeaways from this video. Please share this checklist with new parents. I hope that if we can at least help one family from losing their loved one, then it would be more than enough. Again, please take this as I am from a well-intentioned place, and I hope that this would be beneficial to all of us, if not for our current baby, maybe for the next one. And I believe that is all. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.